introductory grammar for your low-mid elementary students. Let's chat it through. Guys, welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we're a homeschooling family of 4. We have a 6th and a 2nd grader for the 2023-2024 school year. And today, I wanted to come on before the end of our school year, which is so rapidly approaching. I wanted to pop on and I wanted to give you one last look at, I'm actually going to do both, but one last look at the Poodle series from Michael Clay Thompson. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and as always, you can find me down in the comments. I will also have everything linked in the description box or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Why am I talking about Poodle? Because 1, it is the newest level of Michael Clay Thompson's language arts available from Royal Fireworks Press. 2, there is not enough information about Michael Clay Thompson language arts available from Royal Fireworks Press. And then 3, I just like to share. I've had a lot of requests on it. Honestly, I think because of the price point, it is a little bit contentious on whether or not the cost value is there. So I wanted to be sure while I'm still in it and living it to go ahead and give you an in-depth look at the Poodle series. I will also be following this up with the Voyage level, which is the one that my older daughter is currently using. So stay tuned. My very next video actually should be Voyage level. But I wanted to pop in, I wanted to give you a good hard look again. Now, like I have said, I'm going to give you a look in the books and we can go over them. But the Poodle series is 5 books. There are 5 student books and 5 instructor manuals. I like having both because I am not good at grammar. I am just not. So if you ask me what is correct, like I need both books because I like having the answers. I need the answers. So at the minimum, I would need instructors. And then it is worth it to me to go ahead and have the books that they write in. And so she reads along, or she'll read them now while I follow along. And then she can mark in her books and answer all of the things in her book. Originally, when we got our first level, actually, I think originally when I got this level, it was only 3 books, the first 3, and I just did the instructor version and I would take a picture and white it out. It was a whole thing, and it's just not worth it to me because let's talk about it. The Poodle series, the complete package, they only are available in print books because they're little kids, so it's not digital books, but they're younger, tend to be younger, right? Because the intent is that the intent with the first level of Michael Clay Thompson, which I believe is the island level, is that you are no longer learning to read, you are reading to learn. And we have been using the Poodle series, which is an introduction to the Michael Clay Thompson language arts. So in using the Poodle series, what we've done this year, she made the transition from learning to read to reading to learn this year. And so we've started this book series, Introductory Grammar. It is a narrative style. We have been using that this year in addition to the very last level of All About Reading. So All About Reading level 4 is her reading program. And then this has been her grammar program, and we've been using them at the same time. Now, it starts with identifying parts of speech, so noun, pronoun, things like that. And now we are in the 5th book where we are learning the proper use of a comma. We've gone over prepositions in the middle, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. All kinds of things in the middle. So another thing that I think is really important to address is that the Michael Clay Thompson programs are billed as language arts for gifted and talented children. I am not saying that my children are gifted and talented. I think that children will grasp what you teach them, and I'm okay with teaching above where they are and having them stretch a bit. I have no problem doing that. I quite enjoy doing that, to be honest with you. So we are going to pop over and look at the books, but just so that you know, the 5 student books, the 5 instructor books in a package is $300. And you might be like, whoa, $300 grammar for a young child. Yes, but I'm looking at that as that's only $30 for a text, like per book, which isn't that high of a cost for a workbook or an instructor manual. So I don't think it's that crazy. I also already use and love them, and I find that the value is there for sure. Like I said, we originally only had 3 of the instructor manuals, and then I went back and bought more because, again, the value for me is absolutely there. We had read the 3 Poodle books together before, including my older daughter. A year or 2 ago, we just kind of read through them. And then this year, my youngest is actually working through them. So I feel like it has been an amazing introduction to grammar. And I know that because I've built this solid foundation and she can really get it, that every year after this, because every Michael Clay Thompson, it kind of comes back and repeats on the same principles, just with increasing complexity. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So we are going to take a look inside the book so I can show you what we're talking about. I'm actually probably going to stay right here and just do a down shot because I've got everything on a table. I keep looking over here because it's all on a table like right here for me. So that is my plan to do that. If you have any questions at all, by all means ask. I'm super happy to share. Okay guys, so here are the books of the Poodle series. The only one I do not have is the instructor manual for the newest book, Art of the Comma. I was sent a promotional copy from Royal Fireworks Press. And so I don't have the instructor one, and then this one is just like a paper cover. So let's get started. You start with Poodle Knows What, and Poodle Knows What covers basically your parts of speech, okay? So in Poodle Knows What, you will go over nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, interjections. And then there's an instructor section at the back. Now, in the instructor manual, it has all of the answers labeled out. So as you can see, instead of doing like a sentence diagramming, you're reading the sentence and then labeling the parts of speech. The instructor manual, both books actually also have QR codes in the corner if you need some more help, somebody to read them to you. And they have these kind of gray blocks that give you a little bit more information. Now, something that I really like about these books is that they will start to color the different parts of speech differently so that it helps to make more sense. I also like the big definition page when you start the chapter. I enjoy this very much. Now it is written in a narrative style, so you're following the story through all 5 books of the same chicken named Poodle. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily care for the narrative style, but we have quite enjoyed it. So we like it here in our house. Now in the back in the instructor section, there is a lot more information. Now these little kind of like visual graphic approach to diagramming a sentence, to labeling parts of speech, it comes up again in the later levels. So it's nice to have. Now, let's get a look inside. That was the instructor manual. And this is the student book. So the student book is very similar. It doesn't have the instructor section in the back. And here in this chapter, she was only supposed to be doing nouns and pronouns. So she labeled nouns and pronouns. And again, we'll read the chapter through on Monday, and then we'll break up however many sentences there are into 4 days and let her just kind of work them out. And I let her work more if she wants to. It's not a big deal. She enjoys it. She really liked when we get to this point, there's a beagle named What, and all he ever says for the longest time is what. So whenever we got there, I had to let her read the whats. Now she is reading the sentences and doing it all entirely on her own, which is kind of crazy. I like that the words that we're focusing on are bolded. So that is Poodle Knows What, basically parts of speech. Now, Poodle and the Blue Mountain Monster is the second part. Poodle and the Blue Mountain Monster. Again, the same kind of Oh, here's the instructor manual. The same kind of sections. And in this one, we're going over subject, action verb, direct object, linking verb, and subject complement. So we're learning more about the parts of a sentence. And then in the front, and they are written in different styles, which I also really like because my daughter gets a little bit more exposure to those different styles of writing. They're very pretty. The illustrations are gorgeous. Now it hasn't started yet, but at some point, yeah, this is when we do what we want with a highlighter. Isn't that fun? Look at this. She's doing a great job of labeling the, so this is actually the premise when you are studying sentences with Michael Clay Thompson is you do a 4-level sentence analysis. And the first level is parts of speech. The next level is parts of a sentence, so like subject, verb. The third level is phrases, and the fourth level is clauses. So this second book is all about parts of a sentence. And the instructor manual is the same thing, just with the answers. See, and even here, it's got it all labeled for you. Prepositional phrases labeled. I like having that. The third book in this series is about poetry and introducing different aspects of poetry and wordplay and sounds and how these things, you know, can really resonate and make your writings sound better. So my 7-year-old was going over syllables and I ams and meter and trimeter, and she's able to really figure out what those things are from a passage, a poem, a selection. So it's teaching about how things should be sounding in an effort to make sure, this is kind of like a little bit review, practice problems here. Making sure that she understands what's rhyming and what's not rhyming. And so see, she can answer the questions here and ballad and 4 and syllable and stanza and 3 and meter. And she can understand what's happening in poetry, I think is quite impressive. And I do believe, now you can see here where it is laid out with the different colors because that's what they're wanting you to see and pick up on for assonance, consonants, and rhyme. And again, she can answer the question. So here, what's in blue? What are we asking? And then by the end of her poetry book, she was able to do the end of book quiz, and she did amazing. And so she could tell me that the funny frog began to croak, and she can tell me that that's iambic tetrameter. And I'm so impressed with that. Now, you're about to see one of my only complaints with the books from Royal Fireworks Press. They delaminate so easily, and it kind of drives me nuts. Like, it's not a huge deal, but honestly, like, I don't know what it is, but we have several of them do this. And I know that my kids are rough on books, and it's something we're handling all the time and shoving in a bin and pulling out of a bin, but none of our other books do that. So that is a complaint that I have. I do have complaints, and this is it. Do you see this? What is that? Okay, Poodle and the Blue Desert Dunes. Now, this is one of the earlier books we hadn't done before, and this one goes over prepositions. Now, let me tell you, my daughter started out with this book being able to identify the preposition, which is a part of speech, identify the prepositional phrase, she can identify the object of the preposition, and she can tell you which word it's modifying to tell you if the prepositional phrase is acting as an adjective or an adverb. And if I did not have this book, I would have been able to help. I mean, we are so far beyond my basic understanding of grammar. Look and see, again, it's got the different words are colored differently. So the preposition and the object of the preposition are color coded, which I think is just one of those really nice things where they're, you know, putting it there visually to add to the back of their brain. And I just love that. Now look at this. See, so we would do, not always would we do exactly as they asked, because visually it was easier for her to put the preposition in a block, circle the object of the preposition, underline the prepositional phrase, and then point back to what it was modifying and then decide if it was an adjective or an adverb. So that's how we did that. Again, I'm so impressed. I am honestly so impressed. Now her end of book quiz, she did all on her own, including the reading. So she did the reading and answered all of the words. And as you can see here, look at this. She only got one wrong. One. I'm still so impressed. Now we have moved on to a book that I don't have the answers for, which is just terrifying for me, but it is Poodle and the Art of the Comma. Now this book is maybe just the prettiest book, and let me show you why. Oh, bingo. Isn't it gorgeous? So we are not that far yet. We've only made it to here. The second chapter is where we've made it, and they are currently stressing, we've only covered 2 things about comma usage. You don't separate the subject from the verb, and you also do not separate a compound word. So like, apples and pears, we're not putting a comma in the middle. And it's got the QR code, and it's got all of the wonderful characters that we've already met. Frequently, they'll break the fourth wall, and the author will talk to us, which I think is adorable. Look at this. I love it so much. I love it so. It's so pretty, and it's so pretty, and it goes over all different kinds of art, and I just love it so much. So we are deep in the throes of using the very last book in the Poodle series, and I feel like this has benefited my youngest so well, because I know that because she's able to label the different parts of speech, when she starts island level, when she starts the first level of the official Michael Clay Thompson language arts program, and we're going back over the parts of speech, that's all review at this point. She's color coded, she knows what she's doing, she knows how to label all of the things, so we will be set up when it comes to prepositional phrases, proper use of comma, labeling, the 8 parts of speech. She understands not just subject verb, but is it an action verb predicate? Is it a linking verb predicate? Do we need a subject complement or a direct object? Is it a being verb predicate? I mean, she understands these things, and because of that, I know that we have laid such an amazing foundation. And so we, of course, are going to go straight into level 1 for the next school year for a couple of reasons. 1, I've already bought it. 2, I am in love with these programs. So be sure to stay tuned in the next video if you want a look inside of the older level versions. So there you go. All of this, buddies, all of this. And it's been, again, we've done 1 chapter a week, and she will probably finish it up right at 32 weeks of schooling, just to give you an idea. So I think there's, before I added the last book, I think there was 20 something chapters when I'd originally planned for it. And then we added the last book. So just 1 chapter a week, couple sentences a day, boom, done. That's it. Okay, so now that we have had a look inside the books, I just want to explain how we've been using it. So you guys know we do a Practice Mom and Me Monday, and so on Monday, we will read our Poodle chapter for the week, 1 chapter a week, and then we will do usually just a couple of the sentences a day for that week, and then the next Monday, we start on the next chapter, and we just follow them as the narrative goes. So this chapter, next chapter, next chapter, next chapter. And that's it. So we have been doing those on Mondays. Usually her reading program, I'm working with her Tuesday through Thursday. And so other than a few practice sentences, which is a good habit to get into because that's a kind of a big premise of the Michael Clay Thompson program, is 1 practice sentence a day. So it is nice kind of getting into that rhythm and vibe. And so I know that that's something that she's going to carry through when for 3rd grade next year, we are starting on the island level. Now, if you guys recall, I bought that level as ebooks, thinking I would save so much money, and I regret it so badly. So I will be purchasing at least some of the student books for that level because I can't do it. I can't do the ebooks again. I can probably do the instructor manuals that way. I think that would be fine for me, but okay, I made a mistake. I recognize it. We'll never do it again. That is how I feel when it comes to that. If you want more information on the upper level packages, don't forget the video following this one will be the 4th level. Yeah, 4th level, voyage level. So I will probably be sharing different information in that if you want kind of a whole overview of the Michael Clay Thompson whole program situation. There will be definitely different information in that because it's an incredibly different program. So I think that is everything I want to say. A complete look at the Poodle series, the Introductory Grammar series from Michael Clay Thompson, sold and published by Royal Fireworks Press. So again, any questions, any comments, any concerns, I am happy to help if I am able, down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. While you are down there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It is massively helpful to me. And let me know if there is anything else that we are using this year that you would like just one more look at before we are no longer kind of deep in it. Of course, I'm sharing more planning videos. All of that is coming up, purchasing videos. It is that time of year. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Any other questions you might have about different levels, be sure to check out that other video because I'm sure they will be answered between one of these two videos. All right, bye guys.